Let me show you some camera tips and tricks that we can do on Motorola Signature. So once we go to the photo, one of the first things that I can recommend you to do is go to the camera settings, because there are just a couple of settings that we can actually use, that we can go through to to improve the experience with the camera, or just improve the photos that we take. For example, we can go to front photo resolution, and actually by default the resolution is set to standard, and we can easily increase it by just selecting high over here. Besides that, we also have the Super Zoom Pro, which is using some sort of like AI tools, I believe, in order to improve the photos that we take with telezoom camera. So of course you can make sure that it is being used if you want to use that little helpful tool. Besides that, if we scroll down, we can also find capture methods, and over here we can find a couple of additional ways that allow you to capture photos. Some of them can be actually used to take photos without even touching the camera, like for example palm capture. You can show your hand to the camera in order to take the photo, so you don't have to touch the phone. You can just show your hand to the camera, and if the phone detects that you're raising your hand, then it's gonna start a quick timer, and I believe after like 2 seconds or so the photo will be taken. We also have the automatic smile capture, so when you point at someone, at a person, and that person starts smiling, then the phone can actually detect it, and we can automatically capture a photo like that. Of course, there is also tap anywhere to capture, and this can be quite helpful as well, especially if you are in like some sort of situation where you cannot really conveniently press the shutter button, so you can just simply tap anywhere on the camera preview in order to quickly take a photo. Now, besides that, we also have a quick capture, which allows you to use this gesture to quickly open the camera. I believe this option is actually enabled by default, and then here we can also choose which camera should be opened with this gesture. So I believe the rear camera is the standard choice, but you can also switch to the selfie camera, or it can be set to automatic, which I assume uses the most recent camera that we use. So if you used rear camera the last time, then most likely the rear camera will be activated the next time as well. Now let's go back to the camera itself, and over here we should be able to tap on these stars over here at the top. Here we can choose the color style, and by default I believe we use the natural color style, but we also have the AI signature style, which is pretty much your own personalized style, which we can customize over here. If we tap on customize, we can provide a couple of example photos of food, portrait and landscape that we took so far, for example. And then based on these samples, the camera can create your own personalized color style, and then you can use it with your photo, so they can have like a unique look or unique feel, if of course we can say it like that. Now, besides that, we also have the action shot, which is over here on the right side. We need to tap on this running person, and this allows you to capture people, animals, maybe even objects that are just rapidly moving, and you want to make sure that they look good on your photos. So as you can read by the description over here, you can capture the energy of people, dogs and cats, and in motion, smiling, running, jumping and more. So yeah, definitely worth giving a try if you capture people running around, for example, and if you want to make sure that they look good on photos and they are not like they are blurred or something. Now, besides that, we also have the macro mode. So if you point at something really tiny, let me actually try to give you an example. Over here I have this car toy. If I point at this car toy, and I'm gonna actually deactivate the action mode, then as you can see, after like a couple of seconds we immediately activated the macro camera. We don't really have to do anything in order to activate it. We just have to point at our small subject that we want to take a photo of, and then here on the left side we can find this flower, which is of course the macro mode. Of course, if you want to, you can deactivate it quite easily, but if you want to make sure that your photos look good in the macro mode, then we can of course activate it like that. You can even use a little bit of zoom. I believe we can use up to 2.9 before we switch the lens, so you can still zoom in order to make sure that you capture that small subject. But if you exceed to 3x, then most likely, as you can see, lens switch, there's the lens switch, and the macro mode is automatically deactivated. Now let's move on to the video mode. And in here we can find the Dolby Vision option, which allows you to simply record videos with the Dolby Vision quality. Pretty easy. And besides that, we also have the horizon lock. Now when this option, if you tap on this button, you can either activate the horizon lock, or if you disable it, we have the adaptive stabilization. And you can actually tap on this eye icon here in the upper right corner of the preview in order to see what is the difference when the horizon lock is off and on. And also, of course, we have the active stabilization explanation as well, once this option is deactivated. We also have a couple of different pretty decent camera modes, like for example the group shot, so you can capture photos of your group, for example with the selfie camera, and then of course even if someone blinks or something, the camera can actually fix that for you, so you can make sure that everyone looks good on the final photo. So be sure to check that out. And there is also the long exposure option, which allows you to capture photos that usually take time to capture, like for example the traffic trails. If you are, for example, right next to the highway or something and you want to capture a photo of traffic trails, or if you want to capture photos of water and clouds, maybe light painting or star trails. In this case, you can use ideally a tripod or something that can stabilize your phone, and then you can, leave the phone for like an hour or so, or maybe even more, if you don't mind, and you can probably capture a pretty good photo of one of these examples. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If there's anything that I should have mentioned in this video and that you think is worth mentioning as for tips and tricks, then of course let me know in the comments so that everyone can see that as well. So that's pretty much it. Leave a like and subscribe.